Zainab Mohammed.
Very well. Let's now recap one of our top stories that we highlighted earlier on. Now, we understand that the government is planning to roll out home community-based healthcare protocols that will pave way for home quarantines in a bid to actually decongest current isolation centers in the country. Let's now bring in Joachim, who's actually with AMREF, to just try to make sense of this very critical plan by the government. Joachim, who's joining us by way of Skype, thank you so much for joining us. The fact that there are people who are asymptomatic is no doubt today. But of course, we are all asking ourselves, how is this going to affect the fight against the spread of COVID-19 when we know that there are people who may have the virus but will not show the signs and symptoms of this virus?
Thank you. Already there are a lot of people who have the virus in the community and who have not even undergone the tests, and we are living with them. There are, 80% of people with COVID are asymptomatic, or they have very mild symptoms, which nobody would worry about. It's only about 15% who show symptoms which may cause them to go to hospital, and they would normally require outpatient care rather than being admitted. And it is only 5% who get severe disease who require to be in a ward, and some of them require even to be in an ICU. And so the spectrum of disease in COVID is such that the majority really don't need to be in a hospital. And even as we talk now, you remember when they did mass testing recently, they were discovering people in the community who were not sick at all, but had been positive.
Right.
So those people didn't need really to be restricted in a hospital.
Right. Joachim, before we even talk about the need to either have them in hospital or not, just the fact that someone might be having COVID-19 and shows no signs at all, how worrisome is this? Is this something for us to be worried about, or is this something that we can manage? We have people who probably even got sick without knowing and even got healed without knowing. Is this what we're staring at?
So this is the reason, this is the reason why people are advised to keep social distance. This is also the reason they are advised to wear masks. If you wear a mask and you're positive, you are unlikely to pass the virus to your, someone next to you. And if you keep social distance, again, you're unlikely to pass the virus. If you wash your hands, you're unlikely to contaminate things you touch around. And so the control measures that are more important than hospital admission are just those ones which we already are doing. So keep social distance, wash your hands, wear your mask, and everyone near you will be safe.
Right. Much as we talk about safety here, there is this plan by the government to actually come up with the protocols to have people, self-quarantine at home without being at the hospitals in order to decongest these health facilities. But in our nature, we've had CS Mutahi Kagwe bashing Kenyans heavily as far as our discipline is concerned. How practical will it be for people to actually self-quarantine at home when they are actually already sick?
So I think the CS is not asking for something different from what has been said from the beginning. From the beginning, we've been advised to keep social distance, to stay home as much as possible unless you have reason to leave your home. We've been advised to put on masks and to wash our hands. Now, the assumption is that any of us can be positive. That's why we are taking those measures. But now we are going a step further to say, even those who have now undergone the test and are actually positive, they can stay at home as long as we maintain those control measures. Because there is no reason for someone who has no symptoms to be restricted in a hospital. And most of these people who get infected are really asymptomatic. They have no reason to be in a hospital. So I think the CS Kagwe is just saying, in other words, what has been said again and again, but now putting it in the perspective of more testing which is happening.
See, before I let you go, there is this feeling that probably our health facilities are already starting to get strained. This is a picture that probably is being painted somewhere. And when we talk about people self-isolating from their homes, let's think about those who have one room, a bed sitter, or probably they live in a house that has only a common area where they share with a very big family that is not that affluent to be able to live in those suburbs where rooms are self-contained and all that. How will such people survive such a directive?
Yeah, so there are many things here. So you consider that person with one room, being at home, maybe with the family. Most likely by the time they were getting COVID, most of the family members are also infected. And given that they are not having symptoms, what we are saying is they can maintain a bit of hygiene as much as possible, maintain 1-2 meter distance in the house, wear masks, instead of them being in a hospital, disrupting their lives totally, and being in a hospital, which also, a hospital also, they're living with other people who are infected. So there is really no difference in terms of if they don't need additional care. Being in a hospital and being at home is the same. By the time you are diagnosed to have COVID, most of your family members have come in contact with you. They must be either positive or just about to develop, the infection.
Yeah.
So there is really no difference whether now you are taken away or whether you are left there with them.
Yeah.
But hopefully 1 or 2 are not infected. You can still try to make those control measures work. Put on your mask even in the house if you are confirmed infected.
Yeah.
And if it is one room, in that one room, you can still maintain 1 meter apart.
Right. Very trying moments indeed. Of course, Joachim, thank you so much for making time to speak to us. That is Joachim Osur, he's the technical director at AMREF Africa. Thank you so much, Joachim, for talking to us on Africa 411. At the moment, I want us to just take a very quick break right about now. But before we go there, let me just quickly take a look at some of your feedback that we are receiving.